I asked my subscribers to submit their DIY requests. That's what I'm gonna do today. Minimalist, modern, high-end pieces that are of course on a budget. Hi friend, welcome back. My name is Jorge. If you're new, I'm very excited you were here because I asked, you answered, or you answered. You asked, I answered. Technically I answered, or I asked. I don't know. But I got a lot of DIY requests, and first of all, you have really great taste because these pieces are beautiful. I absolutely love them. So we're gonna try to get through these as many as we can today. But if you wanna ever submit your own, I'll go ahead and put the link down below where you can of course send me your requests. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start off with an easy one. This one's submitted by Maddie. She says, would love to see your take on this vessel. So this is the Minka textured pot or vase. This is from Anthropology. Maybe you've seen something like this before. I've been wanting to actually try this for myself. I love these. I think there's something fun, something different. A vase with basically balls on them, right? But how do we make it look vintage and authentically vintage? That's the key here. Well, my friend, this is the final result. I'm just kidding. So this is a glass vase, an old glass vase. It's red. What a shame. Actually, it's not that bad, but we're gonna use this to create sort of that vintage looking vase, very earthy, but still kind of sculptural and modern. Now you can take any vase that you have, go to the thrift store, or get like an old fish bowl from the pet store. It kind of has that round shape with the neck and stuff. I'm gonna glue on these foam balls from the craft store. I'll go ahead and link these below. And I'll try to link everything that I can below.
Honestly, this DIY is pretty straightforward. Essentially, I am just gluing these spheres onto the vase. Now, I'm going to use kind of a combination of super gel and a little bit of hot glue just to hold it in place. And honestly, I'm kind of just eyeballing it and spacing the balls evenly throughout the vase.
Pretty good so far, right? Now I will say on days like these, I don't always have a lot of time to cook, which brings us to today's video partner. I've been pretty busy lately and I don't always have time to cook, so today I'm having Factor. And if you haven't heard, Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. To be honest with you, some days I go crazy trying to figure out what to make, and I don't know, I just get bored by the same food. With Factor, there's no prep and no mess, so it helps me cut out that stressful meal planning, the extensive prepping, and all of that mess that comes with cooking. So the meals come together in just minutes, taking the guesswork out of what to make for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And Factor makes it easier to achieve your meal goals. So they have things that are keto friendly, they have things that are calorie smart, chef's choice, vegan plus, and veggie options, which include seafood, meat, and other plant-based meals. Now, I personally like to use the oven. You can use like the mini oven or the oven or microwave if you use that. I cannot tell you how excited I am to eat this. So hungry too. This is delicious. I wish you could try this. Well, actually, you can. Now you can go to go.factor75.com/GasaRefined120. Use code GasaRefined120 to get $120 off your order. I almost forgot. Smoothie. So they also include the smoothie. So this is the tropical fruit smoothie. Gotta shake it first. This is really good. And I'll go ahead and put the link down in the description box just to make it a lot easier for you. But seriously, I highly recommend it. And thanks again to Factor for partnering in today's video.
At this point, I can take this in a couple of different directions and just paint it. I'm going to use Henry's Feather Finish, which if you're new here, I use this a lot. Basically, it's sort of a cement skim coat. So add some water and kind of make it like a thick paint consistency and paint it just like regular paint. It's going to make this look like a ceramic piece. No, I only applied one coat and you can still see some of that red, but that's okay because I'm going to paint over this eventually.
Okay, so I allowed the vase to dry and it's looking pretty good. I could add another coat, but I'm just gonna go ahead and start working with the acrylic paint and kind of give it that aged look as the one in the inspiration. Kind of like a creamy beige, a little bit of brown. Let's see what we can do.
Sometimes I'm undecisive with the colors I want to use until the very last minute, or I end up changing them. So right now I'm adding some white mixed with some brown, a little bit of green to give it more of that aged look. As I'm brushing it on there, I'm realizing I don't really love this. Now note, I added some water to really water it down because this cement really absorbs the paint quickly. So I'm just adding it, kind of just hoping for the best. And as I go, I'm just layering more color, some more brown, giving it sort of a patina in a way. But honestly, that'll do it for this project. Such a simple way to transform any vase.
Shall we do some furniture? I think so. So I actually got a lot of requests for coffee tables, in particular round coffee tables. Maybe I need to do a round coffee table video. This is submitted by Carla, and Carla writes, greetings from Nashville. I've been eyeing this table, but it's so out of my price range. So this is the Maricopa coffee table. Actually, a couple of retailers sell this table, and I'll go ahead and link it down below because it's absolutely beautiful. But of course, what makes this table stand out in my opinion are the chunky legs, right? They're very simple and clean. I love this table, but the real question here is, how do we do this without fancy wood tools? I have an idea. Hashtag trust the process. For this project, I'm going to use a For this project, I'm going to use this round piece of wood. It actually already comes cut in a circle. It's like 40 something dollars. Now, so this Maricopa coffee table, what makes it stand out are the chunky legs. Now, my first thought was to look on Facebook Marketplace and see if I could find like an old dining table that I can repurpose the legs. I couldn't find anything, so we're just gonna have to make our own. Now, I don't have fancy tools to create those legs, of course with wood, so we're just gonna have to DIY those legs in an interesting manner. This is insulation, like foam. You probably have seen it in those TikTok videos when they make those like mirrors. Before you click away, do not click away. It's gonna look a little janky before it looks good. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so for the legs, I went ahead and bought these individual legs, so 4 of them total. These are pretty much ready to go. You can just pretty much screw them into a surface and make a table. Very simple, right? Notice that these legs are not the right shape. Here's the crazy idea. I have a pitcher and the foam. Yes, I know, don't click away yet. So I'm gonna put this in the pitcher. I'm going to spray this into the pitcher. So I'm just gonna use this sheet of paper. You can also probably use like a wax paper or like parchment paper for cooking. I'm just gonna fold it like this, put it into the pitcher.
Let's jump into this and create some nice legs. I'm going to use this picture from Dollar Tree, some paper that I put and some tape just to hold it in place. Now the wooden legs here is what's going to give this table support, not the foam. The foam is just going to be decorative to get that chunky look. So I'm using this insulation foam. It's like $3 or $4. I'll link this below. Filling it in for each of the legs and kind of just holding it for a second. This stuff actually starts to cure quickly.
Don't click out yet. Don't click out yet. Trust the process, okay? Trust the process. I actually gave a sneak peek on this on TikTok and Instagram. Freaked out a lot of people. So let's keep going with this.
And again, of course, I did this for the rest of the legs. I probably could have gotten away with just using one picture and reusing it, but for the purposes of this video, I just went ahead and did all 4 at once.
So I think they are overfilling. I think I added way too much, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and trim this down and shape it nicely, but we still have to wait for it to fully cure. Look like sculptures.
Can someone please tell me what is going on? What are these? They look like zoo animals. They look like balloon animals. Crazy, but hey, I love it. Now with a little bit of pressure, I was able to remove them from the picture quite easily. The paper really helped, and removing of course the paper from the edge, which kind of stuck to it, but it's okay. It's not going to matter, as you will see here in a second. At this point, I realized there were some areas that needed some more foam, so I went ahead and applied that and let it do its thing.
Okay, so I let this dry overnight, or I guess cure, expand. I don't know exactly what the right term is, but look at this. Doesn't this look like a horse? Well, anyways, I'm going to now use this knife. Got this cheap from Dollar Tree, like $1.25. I could also probably use like a bread knife. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these things because basically the legs look like large Slurpee cups. I am still feeling good about this.
Easy as butter, I slowly cut my way down towards the height of the leg, which ends up being basically where the screw is.
To smooth off the edges here and kind of give it the round look, I'm gonna use this cheese grater, also from Dollar Tree. I love Dollar Tree. And basically just do this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I hope this works out.
I'm not gonna lie with you, this does create kind of a hot mess, perfect to work outside or lay out an old canvas, drop cloth or something that easily collect all of those things. But I will say that with this stuff, it's actually pretty easy to work with, as you can see here, easy to of course cut into and form. But this is sort of what it's looking like now. Now it is time to, well, make it look like wood, I guess. Oh, Henry's Feather Finish Part 2, that's right. I'm going to mix up another batch, of course adding some water, mixing it up to kind of thick paint consistency. Wow, I can't talk. And I'm going to brush it on there, and I hope this to kind of fill in any little cavities or holes that are still lingering in the legs and just make this look more of a unified thing. And then we're going to address how we're going to make this look like wood in a second, or at least try to. Honestly, I am just experimenting here. This could probably be done with plaster or some spackling or some sort of other material. I'm just using this because I have it.
I know it's looking a little janky.
In the meantime, let's go ahead and sand off the tabletop here. I'm going in with 400 grit sandpaper just to get it extra nice and smooth. Now I'm just screwing in the straight top plate, which is basically what the legs are going to screw into. They sell this pack of 4. Again, that goes with the leg. Looking at the Maricopa table, it seems as though the finish or the color is sort of like a dark brown but more muted. So I'm going to try to achieve this with some gel stain. Now the colors I'm going to be using are Java and Carbon Gray. I first applied Java with a stain applicator pad, let that dry, and then I applied the Carbon Gray. I probably would do the Carbon Gray first if I were to do this again. Now, for the legs that the cement legs have dried, I'm actually applying it onto the legs to kind of give it a wood look. Did it work out? Kind of. It definitely gives it the same color, but we're not fooling anybody here. These do not look like wooden legs, but we still kind of get that same vibe. I don't know. This is the final result.
Okay, who are we kidding? Let's not trust the process. I don't know about this table, not my best work, but you know what? I'm here to experiment and try new things. And you know what? Not the best one. I feel like this foam has a lot of potential, maybe with that cement kind of layered, but I don't know about furniture. I don't know about furniture. Ooh, one of my favorites, wall art. I love creating wall art and painting and such. So this is submitted by Heba or Heba. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but these are actually a couple of art pieces, sculptural wall art pieces. So here are some photos. These are minimalist, modern. They're definitely a play on light and shadow and kind of create some soft curves and dimension. I love these relief paintings. So I think we can totally do these on a budget, and these can totally be scaled up or down. So let's see what we can do. Now for this project, we're going to take this old canvas art piece, paint over it basically. I was gonna make my own frame and all that, but it's just too much work. This, no tools required, and it's much easier. So go to the thrift store, get an old frame, or go to like a discount store or what have you, and do that.
I purchased this craft foam sheet kit, which is awesome because it comes with sheets of different thickness, which will help me create sort of that 3D look on the artwork. Now I'm just laying it onto the canvas and kind of just eyeballing this, honestly, and creating my own design. It's all about creating those soft curves that are really going to work well with each other, and also playing with the different heights and thickness. What's also great about this foam board is that it's easy to cut. So I'm just using this knife from Dollar Tree. I probably could use like a hot foam sheet cutter or whatever those are called, but I don't have one, so this will do just fine. To make the edges extra smooth, I'm kind of just like rubbing it onto the fabric here.
By the way, if you try out any of these projects, definitely tag me on Instagram. I love seeing what you're working on.
Adhering this to the canvas is actually quite simple. I am just using some Gorilla Hot Glue on the low setting so it does not melt the foam. You guessed it, Henry's Feather Finish Part 3, because this is going to make everything more unified. It's going to make this look like one modular piece that has been carved, maybe like a piece of stone, what have you. So I am applying a thick coat to this. Maybe a couple coats would be even better. And I think I probably will do the frame, but I forgot to do though.
The painting has dried. Look at that. Doesn't that look pretty neat? I could probably just stop here, maybe even add another coat of the Henry's Feather finish, but I think I'm gonna go in with kind of like an off-white with acrylic paint, maybe like a beige or the color of like the moon. I don't know what color the moon is. Actually, I do. Isn't it gray? It's gray. Yes, it's gray. Kind of like a gray silvery. Maybe not the moon.
I like to keep it real with you, and I will say after just looking at this as I'm editing this, I really like the color of the cement of this. I should have just left it as is, maybe done another coat of the Henry's Feather finish, but nonetheless I went in with some paint, some like white. I did not end up liking it, so after I went in with some gray acrylic paint, but nonetheless this is the final result.
Not bad, right? This could totally be scaled up or down depending on what frame you use, what canvas, what have you. And you can even do this with hardboard or just other materials that you might have. Right, there's definitely more DIY requests, but you know what? I think we're gonna call it good for today's video. I'll definitely do more, don't you worry. But in the meantime, comment down below. Let me know which of the projects was your favorite. I think you might know my favorite, the coffee table. Maybe not, but you know what? It's a learning experience. I'm here to try out, experiment the things. We're just having some fun here. So again, let me know which of the projects was your favorite. And if you wanna submit your own, definitely do so. I'll put the link down below. You can submit there. So thanks again to Factor for partnering in today's video. Be sure to check out my other DIYs. I'll put the playlist here at the end. I've definitely built up a library and it's always a fun time. So thank you again, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye.